Hey y'all, I'm back with my April 2021 reading wrap up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Books with Kimberly. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm so excited to go over the 6 books I read in the month of April. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first book is Let Me Love You by Alexandria House. This book was about a rapper who goes by Big South as his rapper name, but his real name is Everett, and Joe. The two of them meet because he's ordering a piece of jewelry, and her jeweler that she is interning for is making the piece of jewelry, and the two of them connect that way. Because the way she met him, she was very feisty, very like, who do you think you are? And so I was here for it. I'm like, yes, girl, put this little rapper in his place. But, I mean, that was the cute part. The two of them, of course, connect. He starts pursuing her. She's shy about it at first, but then she lets in, and the two of them have this very cute, steamy romance going on. And I was here for it at the beginning. Where the book takes a turn for me is that, this is a romance novel, and I love to just focus and zero in on the couple and the two of them really getting together and working on their relationship. But this book kind of got derailed to me by the subplots of both of them having crazy exes. And not just crazy exes, but both of them have daughters, and the parents of these children were just crazy throughout the book. They caused so many problems within the book to the point where I was like, maybe y'all shouldn't be together. Like, this is too much. Too much for the kids, too much for y'all. I feel like when you read a romance book, you're supposed to be rooting for the couple to stay together. And I was not. I wanted this couple to break up, which is weird. But at the end of the day, I do think this book was pretty good. It was steamy. Both characters were interesting. I do like that, they weren't the typical couple. They did both have children. I just wish these crazy exes would not have been such a huge part of the book, because they just were these big clouds over their relationship. I gave this book 4 stars, 3.5, but I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. The next book was Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. Y'all, I did a standalone review for this book going over how much I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. A brief description on what Act Your Age, Eve Brown is about. Eve Brown is 27 years old. She is freshly cut off from her parents, and she's looking for a new job, and she finds that opportunity at the Castell Cottage Bed and Breakfast, where Jacob is the owner and that's her boss, and the two of them have this quirky bickering back and forth thing going on, but I loved every minute of it. Go watch that review to hear more of my thoughts. I want to shout out Curly Head Reader. She is also a booktuber. We read this book together, and I just really enjoyed messaging her and giving her my thoughts and her giving me her thoughts. It was really fun doing a buddy read with Curly Head Reader. So you guys go check out her channel. The next book is Wild Rain by Beverly Jenkins. This book was recommended to me by one of the viewers. So shout out to Zatara Berry for recommending this book. It was so good, y'all. I give this book 5 stars. It was such a cute romance. And no, let me not say it was cute. This was very, it was just very heartfelt. Let's say that. It was very heartfelt. This is my first time reading historical fiction romance. And so I'm new to this genre, and that's something I'm going to have to adjust to, just because I be forgetting what time it is, y'all. I be just assuming everybody black. And I be like, wait, this is a racist white person? Hold up, what? So yeah, I gotta improve on that. But this is my first book by Beverly Jenkins, and I really loved it. This book is about Spring Lee and Garrett. Garrett comes to this town called Paradise so that he can interview Spring Lee's brother, Dr. Lee. And while he's there, he stays with Spring Lee a couple days. And while the two of them are in company, they really start to have these feelings and sparks fly. I love Spring Lee, y'all. She is this strong, independent woman. She has a tough past, but she's figured out how to really survive and make a living for herself. She has her own farm. She wears jeans and not the dresses like a lot of the women do during this time. And Garrett accepts her and sees the beauty within her. And I just loved it, y'all. This book had me not knowing what was going to happen. There were so many things happening. This book had really good subplots. You know, they were trying to figure out some things about the land. There were sketchy people coming in. Garrett really made himself at home in this town and even put a target on his back. And so just to see how Spring Lee and Garrett really came together during some of these tough moments that really tested them, but it made the love seem so altogether real because she really had to stick by his side and he really had to stick by her side. And I love that. I love a romance where the love is really tested. And it's in these tests that you really see the couple grow together. So that was a great book and I gave it 5 stars. The next book was also a recommendation from one of my viewers, and that's Debbie Wright. And I really appreciated this one because, y'all, this thriller book blew my mind. And that is The Girl in the Mirror by Rose Carlyle. This book was really good. And see, this is the kind of thriller book that needs to be getting all the hype. And I had never heard about this book until Debbie let me know about it. So thank you, Debbie. This book is about 2 twin sisters, Iris and Summer. So Summer has this fabulous life, fabulous husband, fabulous child. She's very rich. And Iris, on the other hand, is the jealous, insecure twin. They're both identical, but you learn very early on that even though they are identical, both of them are very different. And their differences is what puts Summer on this pedestal and puts Iris in this very insecure place. You know, Iris compares their eyebrows, compares their hair, their lifestyle. You know, Summer is the nice sister. She has this dark side. And so Summer asks her sister to sail their boat, Bathsheba, from Thailand back to Africa. And during this trip, y'all, Summer disappears. So Iris, when she comes back to land in Africa, she is embraced by her sister's husband, and she decides, because they're identical twins, that she's just going to resume the life of Summer. Because she's thinking nobody loves Iris, nobody cares about Iris, it's all about Summer. And so what would happen if I told people that Summer is the one who was lost at sea? They would think I did it. So she comes up with all these reasons to resume the life of her sister Summer. This book was so good. I definitely enjoyed it and I definitely gave it 5 stars. The next book was a reread. I've already done a standalone review for Octavia E. Butler's Parable of the Sower. I read this book last year. I read it again this past April with my book club. So shout out to the Guys and Elders book club because we are reading science fiction books, and it was really fun getting to reread this book and discuss it with a group of people. Of course, I give this book 5 stars, and if you want to know more about my thoughts and what this book is about, go check out that standalone review. The last book, you guys, that I read for the month of April was The Reinvention of a Rose by Christina C. Jones. It was about the main character, Tempest, who is a former Rose. She was part of this society of assassins that got taken down in one of the books. I actually read this one and absolutely loved it, Deuces Wild. Now we fast forward to this book, The Reinvention of a Rose, and Tempest is trying to relearn how to be a normal person, not having to be a part of this very strict assassin lifestyle. And so she moves to this quiet neighborhood. She opens up a business, but she hasn't really opened it up yet. She's still hesitant in dealing with a lot of PTSD from her former life. So this book is all about her reinventing herself, getting over her past, and opening up to new people. And one of those new people is this fine, got dreads and tattoos, tattoo artist. His name is Tristan. So this fine tattoo artist Tristan, and sis is like feeling him, he's feeling her, but of course she's very closed off. And so this was so beautiful, y'all. The narration, this was an audiobook. It was by Ebony, and usually I like to speed up an audiobook, but her voice was so calming. I listened to it on one of the lower speeds, and I just really love this story. And it was really cute seeing her open up, her realize like, this is my new life, so I need to adjust. It was just really sweet. I really love this book, and this was another 5-star read for me. And y'all, April was a really good month for me. I read so many 5-star books. Get down in those comments and let me know, what did you read? And let me know if you have any recommendations. You see that I actually read these recommendations. Have a great reading month, and thanks again for tuning into a Books with Kimberly video.